The default shell used in many Linux distributions is the GNU. GNU writes like this, GNU here, GNU bash shell. So this is the default shell of our Linux here. This section describes the basic features available in the bash shell, such as the bash manual, tab auto completion, and how to display file contents. You will walk through how to work with the Linux files and directories using the basic commands provided by the new bash shell. If you are already comfortable with the basics in the Linux environment, feel free to skip this section and continue with the next section to see more advanced commands. Let's start with the shell here. The GNU bash shell is a program that provides interactive access to the Linux system. It runs a regular program and is normally started whenever a user logs into terminal. So the shell that's the system's parts depends on your user ID configuration. Here, actually, let's delete it. So it depends on your user ID configuration. So the etc passwd file here, cat etc passwd here. This contains a list of all system users' accounts, along with some basic configuration information about each user. So here's a sample entry from our etc passwd file. And as you can see, this is our user account that has the file name called call. So each entry here has 7 data fields, with the fields separated by colons here. 1, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this each field separated by colons here, as you can see here. So the system uses the data in these fields against the specific features to the user, for the user. So most of these entries are discussed in more detail in next sections, but for now just pay attention to the last field, which specifies here. Actually, let's make it like this so you can see it more detail here. Here. So here, just pay attention to this last field here. So which specifies users shell program. So through this focus on the GNU bash shell, additional shells are reviewed in this course, and in next lecture we will cover working with alternative shells such as dash and tcsh here. So you will learn in next lecture also different types of shell applications and shells here. So in earlier here, this is their sample entry. The user Typhoon here has been bash set as her default program here, that default program. So here, this means when Typhoon logs into the Linux system, the bash system, the bash shell program is automatically started. So although the bash shell program is started at login, whether a shell command line interface, CLI command line interface is present, that depend on which login method is used. So if a virtual console terminal is used to log in, the command line interface CLI prompt is automatically presented. So, and you can begin to type shell commands. However, if you log into the Linux system via graphical desktop environment, you need to start a graphical terminal emulator to access the shell command line interface prompt. And we also can use the shell prompt here. So after you start a terminal emulation package or log into the Linux Virtual Console, you can get access to the shell CLI prompt. The prompt is your gateway to the shell. So this is the place where you enter shell commands. So the default prompt symbol for the bash shell is the $sign here, and this symbols actually change like this. And as you can see here, this is the $sign. So this symbol here, let's actually here, this symbol indicates that the shell is waiting for you to enter text. The different Linux distributions use different formats for the prompt. In Ubuntu Linux system, the shell prompt should be look like this and here. And in CentOS, however, this is in the Ubuntu here, Ubuntu. And however, in the CentOS, the default shell writing style will be like this, and $sign. This is in the CentOS OS here. So, besides acting as your access point to the shell, the prompt can provide additional helpful information. Here, in this example, the current user ID named Typhoon here is shown in the prompt. Also, the name of the system is shown here. As you can see, in this case, it's Oxal. This is our host name. So you will learn later in this section about additional items shown in the prompt here. So if you are new to command line interface, keep in mind that after you type in a shell command at prompt, you need to press the enter key to for the shell to act upon your command. For example, if I write like ls here and I need to press enter to execute my command line interface command. So think of the shell command line interface as a helpmate assisting you with your Linux system, giving you helpful insights and letting you know when the shell is ready for new commands. As another helpful item in the shell is the bash manual. In next lecture, you will learn about the bash manual in Linux. So I'm waiting you in next lecture.